Welcome to this module on storytelling from the Solomon Institute of Languages. This module will help you improve your English as you listen to a nice story. As you hear the story, pay attention to the pronunciation. You may learn a few new words, and you will be given an opportunity to try telling the story in your own words. We hope you have fun listening and learning from the story. You'll be learning a few words in the story. Garage is a place in a building where vehicles are kept. A route is the way or the path that you take, maybe to go to your school or office. A hulk is something of a very big size. Meek is to be quiet and gentle. Argue is to fight. Irritated is being annoyed. Advantage is to have something at your favor, being in a favorable condition. Glared is to be very angry. Scream is to shout. Surprised is to be amazed. And a wrestler is a person who wrestles. Okay. Without more ado, let us go to the story. The story of Big John. One fine day, a bus driver went to the bus depot, started his bus, and drove off doing his route. No problems for the first few stops. A few people got on, a few got off, and things went generally well. At the next stop, however, a big hulk of a guy got on. 6'8", built like a wrestler, arms hanging down to the ground. Big John said, "Big John doesn't pay," and sat down at the back. The driver was 5'3", thin and meek. He didn't argue with Big John, but he wasn't happy about it. The next day, the same thing happened. Big John got on again. Big John said, "Big John doesn't pay," and sat down at the back. And the next day, and the one after that, and so forth. This irritated the bus driver, who started losing sleep over the way Big John was taking advantage of his size. Finally, he could stand it no longer. He signed up for a bodybuilding program, karate, judo, and all that good stuff. By the end of the summer, he'd become quite strong. So next Monday, when Big John got on the bus and said, "Big John doesn't pay," the driver stood up, glared back, and screamed, "And why not?" With a surprised look on his face, Big John replied, "Big John has a bus." Well, I hope you had a good laugh. This story, as you just saw, was all about prejudice. What is prejudice? It's an opinion not based on any reason or actual experiences. We think short people are not to be trusted. We sometimes think big people are very rude and rough, but they may be gentle giants. Appearances can be deceptive. The prejudice of the driver against Big John made the driver lose sleep and learn martial arts for months. Well, something good came out of it, at least, though it was totally not needed. Right. Other similar words to prejudice are preconceived notions that you create or conceive in your head, biased opinions, etc. So let us not be prejudiced people. Let us not form biased opinions about others based on their color, religion, language, or gender. Let us go beyond all this. The prejudices people feel about each other disappear when they get to know each other. So let us learn to know each other before forming opinions about others. I hope you took a valuable lesson from this particular story. Okay. Now you're required to complete the story. You may pause it as per your requirement. There are hints given. Try using the hints and telling the story in your own words. Have fun. It's okay to be wrong and not perfect, but you should try telling it aloud. Try using the hints and forming sentences and making the same story in your own words. Take your time. You may pause the video as it plays. Story of Big John. I will read out the first sentence for you. One fine day, there was a bus driver. He started early in the morning, took his bus from the bus depot, and went on his own route. Okay, please continue. I hope you could recreate that story. You may pause if you need more time. Let us revise the new words that we learned in the story. I will be forming sentences. Garage. I park my vehicle at the garage every evening. Route. I like to drive by scenic routes when I travel to distant places. Hulk. My father is a big hulk of a guy. Meek. Blessed are the meek. Argue. Irritated. Advantage. It is better not to argue and get irritated. This is to your own disadvantage. Glared, screamed, and surprised. During the cricket match, the Aussie bowler glared at the Indian batsman who had just heaved his ball to the stands. The crowd screamed and the poor batsman was totally surprised as he did not realize he had just hit a six. Wrestler. Well, I'm sure you're not a wrestler. Or are you one? We hope you had fun learning and listening to the story. You can learn French, German, and English if you're in South Chennai through direct classes from our top-notch tutors. We also conduct online classes for people from other states and countries. We wish you the very best in your endeavor to master the English language. Your learning is our goal. Happy learning.